Well, thank you for coming back to the channel and nice to see you. Firstly, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. So here we are at about 16 foot of Culsford Station. Now I will show you around what I've been working on. This is the main station section which makes up one side of my modular project that will allow me to go to exhibitions. So over the last year I've been working very hard, though in the second half of the year I haven't really been able to work that hard. Had a few little medical problems which are now coming to an end. I mean, I can get back to more of a normal life. Plus, like everything, work and being moved around a bit. Plus I was doing a lot of exhibitions with Friends Layout, so I was at Chatham, I did Fareham, I was also at Cardiff. A fair few actually. So let me show you around what's been going on. At the moment you can see some of the stock on the layout. So my latest two coaches that have arrived. So I managed to pick up a 7mm Great Western Railway TPO coach. I'd like to get another one of those if I can find it, but I haven't found one yet. And you've also got this Great Western Railway gold bullion van, which is I do like to have more than just Mark 1s, so interesting sort of gold bullion van. Now I know with a bit of weather in this will look better because it never most of them never changed livery. I think one went red, one stayed in GWR, so that's the intention for this one. And the auto fitted pannier that I bought from Rob at the kiln line, so thank you Rob. Okay, so this is the first board. I actually started this one on Christmas Eve last year. So it started with that very first point, and then it was going to be a straight curve up into a bay platform, and there were going to be two platforms with a road. And originally this was planned to be a heritage railway, so this would have been our bay or loop and our terminuses. However, much through the year I decided that actually my passion is more a sort of 1950s 1960s era, so this progressed into a roundy O gauge layout, and it's got much bigger than I first intended, but that's what happens with most projects. So I built this one originally with the 3-track plan, and I mapped that out and laid it between Christmas Eve and New Year last year. As you can see, we've now added a 4th line. Now I don't have room in the house today to have the next board up, but what happens is, and I'll put a picture in a minute, is when the next board joins, there is a double slip that allows terminating trains to cross over and come into platforms 3 and 4, which are the ones on the far side. And you've got platforms 1 and 2 here. Now I've stuck some ballast on this one just as a test. I know it might make my life difficult with a couple of other projects that I wish to do. But there we are. And originally, as I said, this was going to be a loop, but I decided in the end that actually if I put an extra point in, as you can see that there is one here, then I could have a reversing siding for a pilot loco, and equally it will go on to the next board and there's going to be a cattle dock there. So that's the plan here. So not a huge amount of development. I have put all the wiring in. The bus wires are up underneath. That was pretty good, and it does work. I will show you a train rundown shortly when we get to the end of our little review of Culsford Station, because as I said earlier, this is the station area. So if I now pan round to the next couple of boards, there's not really much going on here, bear with me. Zoom out a bit, see if I can tilt it up a bit. I have kind of just taken over my largest dining room. So the next boards will form the main station area, Now the wood blocks you see, these are the beginning parts of platforms 1 and 2. I'm yet to scratch build these. So we're going for around 5 Mark 1 carriage length platforms at about 9 feet with the loco. And these were the easiest 2 boards to build because all they are is flexi track. So you've got 8 straight foot of flexi track. So you can see the beginnings there of platform 1 and 2. And I also hope to maybe over Christmas and New Year, when I've got some time, cut the slightly narrower platform of platform 3 and 4. Now the interesting thing about this is they're both going to be about 9 feet, but they're offset platforms, which I quite like. I've never been a fan of uniformity. So we'll move up and I'll show you the next bit, which is currently under construction. So we've got the next board here, which hasn't been decided yet. So the only bit that is decided is the point on the far side of the screen there. That is definitely going to be where it is. And that will make a junction loop to the platform for London bound trains. We're also going to put a pilot siding in here. This one will be slightly longer and we'll be able to accommodate a tender engine such as a 4F. So if the 4F's ever working pilot duties on an exhibition, we can accommodate it in a siding somewhere. On the closest side, or I suppose on the down lines going towards Oxford and Birmingham, because this line is set on the Didcot to Chester line, somewhere between Didcot and Oxford, though completely fictional town. We've got the down line going in. I've just put the first bit of flexi track on. I'm not quite sure how the junction is going to work this side yet, because the closest line you see to you now is a bi-directional branch line, which will have a half loop round to the fiddle yard, but more on that as we develop it. And then when the track leaves this board, it will go onto its curves and then back into the fiddle yard. But that's a job for next year. So just wanted to give you an idea of where we are, and this is it. We've also developed 2 more boards the other side, and let me just put some pictures up of that. So new stock arrival. Here is the GWR Gold Bullion van. Now I bought this because I've seen some pictures of one operating in the BR period, painted in Great Western livery, though it was a bit more weathered than this one currently is. And I'm not sure this is the right number, but I like to have a mix of different stock, not just passengers and freight. I like to have the odd special wagon. So the latest one is this, which is a Gold Bullion van. Now these were quite interesting in service. They used to be attached to normal passenger trains, locked up, but the keys travelled on a different train, I'm told. And I thought that was quite a nice novel idea for Culsford to have a Gold Bullion van travelling up towards Birmingham, say. Now the reason also for getting this van slash carriage, I'd probably say it's a van actually, is because one of my big ideas on here is to have all the TV detectives around. So Miss Marple, Poirot, Lewis, Inspector Morse, Endeavour. I know they're all the same character there, but you know, all the different periods. Whitcliffe, all those different types, and I know they're all not from this area, and Inspector Morse is probably the most fitting, he's the closest. But wouldn't it be good on a scene if we could stage a Gold Bullion robbery? I'm just going to turn this round to the other side. So it has its vacuum pipe and chain links. And then on this side, if I back on the track. You can just about make out the door handles of the double doors. Only had doors on one side. Probably convenient to do it that way. But like I said, that was a cool new purchase and is one of my favourites. I really like it. Another new carriage I've recently acquired is this TPO, painted in Great Western livery. I really like this. This is so different and good. And I picked it up at a reasonably good price from a vendor ahead of the Chatham show. I basically saw it and kept very quiet and hoped for the best. But this is wonderful, and I'm really happy to have it in the collection. I would like to get another one of these, and if I can find them, a couple of sorting vans, so that I can develop my post train. Because if you didn't know, post is one of my favourite trains. I think they're wonderful things. I used to love seeing it when I was younger. So the opportunity to recreate this and have a Great Western loco pulling it along is fantastic, and I jumped at the chance to buy this coach. So on this side it's got the sorting doors and the net, the TPO apparatus. And who knows, we may even put a TPO apparatus near the station. Might be something different to add. Let me just turn it around and wheel it away. The nice things is they managed to move the gangways over, which is common for postal stock. On the other end, it's just got the double doors. So it's a long way from the Hornby operating mail coach, but another fantastic acquisition for Culsford. So shouldn't be too much longer before you can see this running around at an exhibition, and hopefully, as and when I can find more, I will develop the train and develop a much longer mail train. In the next video I'll show you the latest wagon, which starts the military train off that we're going to have. That was a recent purchase, but I'll show you that next time. I should get a Warwell, with thanks to my friend Rob from the Kiln Line for recommending it to me. Now, it wouldn't be an update if I didn't have a couple of new locos. So much like most of you double O gauge modelers, I've got some panniers. So at the top there you've got the BR Green 6400 auto fitted pannier, which I bought from Rob at the Kiln Line. This is DCC sound fitted and a Lionheart pannier. And the closest one is a 57 class 9722, and this is modelled on a pannier that was for a while before the end of its life was based at Slough Shed. Now, being from around the Slough area, I try and have a few Slough Shed locos on my layout. So when one of the local Railway Society members gave me the chance to buy this, I jumped at it. It's a brass kit built 5700 rather than a Daypole one. And in time it will be DCC sound fitted, but that at the moment is less of a priority whilst I build the layout. But yes, two new locos, two new panniers. I didn't want to feel left out like you guys from Akira Scale with all your new ones, so I went and got a couple myself. So I suppose I'll get to it and run a train. a light come on last night, but I'll go and see what that is. Stuck with it, pulled back. Oh, right. Eggies, petite eggies. I'm quite hungry. Well, hello everyone and welcome back to Culsford Station. I'm Matt and this is my project. I feel like I haven't made a video, well I know I haven't made a video for ages, so I felt like today I should do one. So without further ado, we'll run my little entrance and then we'll get into it. And I'll show you around what I've been doing with my modular project here, Culsford Station. Another new wagon I've recently acquired, well not a wagon, a carriage, let me... I saw a light come on last night, but I'll go and see what that is. Stuck with it, pulled back. Oh, right. Eggies, petite eggies. I'm quite hungry. Right, so that concludes my brief layout update. I do hope you've enjoyed seeing as Culsford develops. So one thing I did want to just talk about is the shunting yard. Now the shunting yard is a model railway live stream / podcast. It's on YouTube, Instagram and Discord, and the links will be down below in this description of this video. Now earlier this year, James and Rob from the shunting yard approached me and my friend Tom from Tom's Modelling Corner and asked if we would like to be presenters on the podcast / live stream, and I've decided to accept. I've done one stream so far on Network Southeast and electric multiple unit modelling, and I was also there at their Christmas quiz, which you can go back and have a look at. I was very, very drunk at that one, but it was good fun. So the shunting yard goes live almost every Thursday at 8 PM live on YouTube. So they start back in the first week in January, and I will return on the 13th of January to talk about model railway goals and your plans for 2026, because we want to hear all about it. And if you've got them, please put them in the Discord server and join the Discord server. Once we get more subs, then we can open a proper merchandise store and you can have more of these hoodies and even underpants. So go and have a look. All that's left to say is please like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year.